Someone may be able to lower their blood pressure in a number of ways. For example, by regularly exercising, managing their weight, and making dietary changes. High blood pressure affects nearly half of American adults and 1 billion people worldwide. If left uncontrolled, high blood pressure raises your risk of heart disease and stroke. However, there are a number of things you can do to lower your blood pressure naturally, even without medication. Here are 9 natural ways to treat high blood pressure. Let's get started. Number 1. Walk and exercise regularly. Exercise is one of the best things you can do to lower high blood pressure. Regular exercise helps make your heart stronger and more efficient at pumping blood, which lowers the pressure in your arteries. In fact, getting 150 minutes per week of moderate exercise, such as walking, or 75 minutes per week of vigorous exercise, such as running, can help lower blood pressure and improve heart health. Additionally, some research suggests that doing more exercise than this reduces your blood pressure even further. Walking for just 30 minutes a day can help lower your blood pressure. Getting more exercise helps reduce it even further. Number 2. Reduce your sodium intake. Salt intake is high around the world. This is largely due to increased consumption of processed and prepared foods. Many studies have linked high salt intake with high blood pressure and heart events, including stroke. However, other research indicates that the relationship between sodium and high blood pressure is less clear. One reason for this may be genetic differences in how people process sodium. About half of people with high blood pressure and a quarter of people with typical levels seem to have a sensitivity to salt. If you already have high blood pressure, it's worth cutting back your sodium intake to see whether it makes a difference. Swap processed foods for fresh ingredients and try seasoning with herbs and spices rather than salt. Most guidelines for lowering blood pressure recommend reducing sodium intake. However, that recommendation might make the most sense for people who are sensitive to the effects of salt. Number 3. Achieve a healthy weight. As your weight increases, so does your blood pressure, which means that losing even a few pounds can go a long way toward lowering your systolic blood pressure. The fat cells that we get around our midsection are metabolically active cells. They secrete all kinds of hormones, which ultimately raise blood pressure. Of course, it's almost never as simple as just lose weight. Weight is a nuanced, complex topic, and lots of medical and lifestyle-related factors play a role. But here's the thing. If you're doing your best to follow steps 1 through 5 on this list, weight loss is likely to follow, especially if you're working with your healthcare provider to make sure you're doing things right. Number 4. Drink less alcohol. Drinking alcohol can raise blood pressure and increase the risk of several chronic health conditions, including high blood pressure. While some research has suggested that low to moderate amounts of alcohol consumption may protect the heart, those benefits may be offset by negative effects. In the United States, moderate alcohol consumption is defined as no more than 1 drink per day for females and 2 drinks per day for males. If you drink more than that, it might be best to consider reducing your intake. Drinking any amount of alcohol may raise your blood pressure. Therefore, it's best to moderate your intake. Number 5. Learn to manage stress. Stress is a key driver of high blood pressure. When you're chronically stressed, your body is in a constant fight or flight mode. On a physical level, that means a faster heart rate and constricted blood vessels. When you experience stress, you might also be more likely to engage in habits that can have negative effects on blood pressure, such as drinking alcohol and eating processed foods. Several studies have explored how reducing stress can help lower blood pressure. Here are 2 evidence-based tips to try. Listen to soothing music. Calming music can help relax your nervous system. Research has shown that it's an effective complement to other blood pressure therapies. Work less. Working a lot and stressful work situations are both linked to high blood pressure. Chronic stress can contribute to high blood pressure. Finding ways to manage stress can help. Number 6. Adopt the DASH diet. The DASH diet, which stands for Dietary Approaches to Stop Hypertension, was created specifically to lower blood pressure. In fact, the research into this diet is so positive that it's now considered one of the most important non-pharmaceutical measures for controlling hypertension. The DASH diet is a really balanced diet that's rich in fruits, vegetables, and whole grains, and can be done in combination with a low-sodium diet. It can be really helpful in lowering your blood pressure, especially when you work with a dietitian or nutritionist to drill down on the basics. People who adopt the DASH diet usually meet low sodium and high potassium guidelines, and may lose weight too. Following the DASH diet can drop systolic pressure up to 11 mmHg, and it can do it in just a few weeks. And that's not the only major benefit. It could also lower your risk of breast cancer, colorectal cancer, and metabolic syndrome. Number 7. Get a good night's sleep. Getting fewer than 7 hours of sleep every night for weeks can play a role in hypertension. Conditions that can disrupt sleep include sleep apnea, restless leg syndrome, and general sleeplessness, also called insomnia. Adults should aim to get 7 to 9 hours of sleep every night. Let your healthcare professional know if you often have trouble sleeping. Finding and treating the cause can help improve sleep. But if you don't have sleep apnea or restless leg syndrome, follow these simple tips for getting more restful sleep. Stick to a sleep schedule. Go to bed and wake up at the same time each day. Try to keep the same schedule on weeknights and on weekends. Create a restful space. That means keeping the sleeping space cool, quiet, and dark. Do something relaxing in the hour before bedtime. That might include taking a warm bath or doing relaxation exercises. Turn off or dim bright light, such as from a TV, phone, or computer screen. Watch what you eat and drink. Don't go to bed hungry or too full. Try not to have large meals close to bedtime. Limit or avoid nicotine, caffeine, and alcohol close to bedtime as well. Limit naps. For those who find napping during the day helpful, limit naps to 30 minutes and take them earlier in the day. You may sleep better at night. Number 8. Quit or avoid smoking. Smoking can affect your all-around health, including your blood pressure. In the long term, the chemicals in tobacco can increase your blood pressure by damaging your blood vessel walls, causing inflammation, narrowing your arteries. The hardened arteries cause higher blood pressure. The chemicals in tobacco can affect your blood vessels even if you're around secondhand smoke. One study showed that non-smokers in areas with smoke-free restaurants, bars, and workplaces had lower blood pressure than non-smokers in areas without smoke-free policies. Number 9. Cut back on caffeine. If you've ever downed a cup of coffee before you've had your blood pressure taken, you'll know that caffeine causes an instant blood pressure boost. However, there's not much evidence to suggest that drinking caffeine regularly can cause a lasting increase. In fact, people who drink caffeinated coffee or tea tend to have a lower risk of heart disease, including high blood pressure, than those who do not drink it. Still, if you suspect you're sensitive to the effects of caffeine, consider cutting back to see whether it lowers your blood pressure. Caffeine can cause a short-term spike in blood pressure. However, for many people, it does not cause a lasting increase.